Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the Patreons, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the F-14A and its RWR, probably one of the worst RWRs that you see in the top ranks of War Thunder. We are using the ALR-45 here, which is a very old one, to be honest. It doesn't show too many things, but actually Gaijin actually helped with realistic and arcade battles with the missile launch, because this thing doesn't tell you missile launches or anything like that, or even locks, to be honest. And there are even some sources that claim that it is completely blind from the front, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if this is the one that had that problem, and I didn't confirm it, but anyway, we know from what we have in the game, okay? And I wanted to show to you guys how to kinda utilize this RWR. It is a very problematic RWR, gotta say. Just remember the band that you can actually see there, it's from the E band to the J, so you can basically take a look on kinda medium frequencies until high frequency in radars. The majority of the radars, like 90% of the radars that you will notice that you will get pings from, are from I or J frequency. So basically they are very, very high, or not very high, but high frequency, right? Which means that you will basically see all the targets as one thing. But sometimes, from time to time, you will see another thing. So let's get a replay that I had in a match, and we'll pause it and show to you guys how to properly use the RWR. So here we are just in the media player over here, just to show a little bit of how the RWR is. So you can see it right there on the left, just to show a little bit on how it is. This is basically surface-to-air missile launches for high, medium, and low frequencies. AAA at low frequencies, AAA and aircraft at medium frequencies, and then air interception, or basically aircraft with high frequencies. Okay, so as I said, the majority of the aircraft that you will see are high frequency, aircraft. There are some older aircraft that, yes, it could be a mid frequency, but normally it's just the aircraft over here. And then just remember, all of these pings, it means that it is a type of aircraft or a type of vehicle, and then where it is and the distance as well. So you can see I'm taking off over here, and there is 2 targets over here in AAA AI. These are the AA systems on the ground, okay? There's nothing, or maybe this one might be a side slope of the J7E. I don't know if this RWR has IFF, I don't think it does. But yeah, it might be a side slope of the J7E. I have to check the band of that radar. Let me even check that first. Oh no, I just checked, and yes, indeed, all of these vehicles, they are high frequency to these RWR. So these things that you are seeing over here are the AAA that are on the ground, okay? They are producing that that frequency. So normally this is how you would see it. Just pings. Just normal pings, as you see. Mid, high, a question mark. We're going to talk about all of those. But as you see, it was all of the RWRs, what he was seeing, basically, right? You can always, like, go to, let me just show to you guys where it is. You can always go to, click F1 and then controls for aircraft, go to RWR, and then RWR threat types over here. And then, of course, you will have all of these. So, for example, anti-aircraft artillery or air intercept radar, for example. If it's LO on the side, low frequency band. If it's HI, high frequency band. If it's mid, it means that it's a medium frequency band. So, just for you to know. So, yeah, let me go forward over here. So as you see, there are some targets that can be mid, as you just saw there. See again, let me just show to you high. If that's the high and this is appearing, it means that there is a high frequency aircraft that it's on your 12 o'clock. And notice the difference in distance over here. It's not properly showing to you the distance to the target, but at least it's showing that it is far away. It's not near the aircraft over here, so it's far away. And as you see, a lot of things are blinking here, including some question marks. The question marks, guys, are basically frequencies that the radar doesn't identify as a medium or high or anything like that. You just notice that there is something pinging you. Okay, so be careful with that. But normally you see the high appearing, as you see right there. So yeah, we're just climbing right now. And you can see there's a lot of things there. The sound is a little bit disconnected with the image. I have to edit that out, like edit properly, but still. So as you see, there's something right here that it's pinging a high. See how it's closer? This means that this target is closer than this one's, okay? So always notice the distance. Even though it's not a proper measurement of distance, it does help a little bit. So let me just jump a little bit more. So as you see, the majority of high, just remember, if it's appearing as high, and then this box is appearing, it means that 100% it's an aircraft, okay? If it appears like this one, 100% that is a SAM site. Of course, we are in an air battle over here, so it will not appear as a SAM, but as a aircraft, of course, it will. You can see that there are 3 aircraft on the front over here. And I'm not really pinging anything. I mean, there was a ping over here for one of these, but the other ones were just not appearing. Question mark on my 6, it means that it doesn't know what it is. So as you see, there's a lot of targets over there. And here is the thing, guys, here. So notice how the sound is a continuous beeping in a way, you know, so it's appearing on the front of your aircraft. Notice the distance as well, and it's just like a continuous beep. This is basically showing to you that somebody is locking you. So this RWR doesn't have a proper like tracking system, you know, but it has so much energy coming to you. It's measuring so many times the distance, the enemy's radar, I mean, right? That the RWR feels that there is a lot of pings on that direction. And then you can notice that it is a lock, but it's not properly giving you the lock message, okay? So just notice, this is a very subtle little thing, you know? When you notice that there's a continuous beeping, there is something wrong, somebody is locking you. Probably this aircraft over here that you see on the radar. Yeah, see? It just maintains the lock there. It's just a proper lock. Okay? So this is the max that you will see from some form of proper warning of a missile or anything like that in simulator battles, okay? In realistic battles, you have that, but to give a little bit away, to be a little bit more easy in an aircraft that would suffer a lot without it, they actually added a missile launch system for the F-14A, but this is only usable, as I said, in RB and AB, okay? In simulator battles, just like in real life, it doesn't have that launch warning, and I will show to you guys how it is. So notice the sound that somebody's locking you, but it doesn't tell the message that it's locking. Another thing that you can take a look is that it's not blinking anymore, the high target over here, right? So it's just there. It doesn't tell you if it's a high target flying low or anything like that. It's the frequency of the radars. But of course the MiG-21 uses a high frequency one, the AJS, the MiG-23, the F-4, all of these aircraft use high frequency radars, okay? So as you see right now, you will see that the missile launch appeared. So missile launch, as you see, it doesn't tell you exactly where the missile, I mean, it does tell you, right, from what target it is coming. So for example, right here, it's coming from this target. Probably he's firing on one of these targets, probably this one. But of course, we are in the cone of the lock of the radar. So of course, the RWR gives the information that there is an air interception target, high frequency, and it is launching a missile. And that's pretty much what it is. Just remember that in simulator you won't have that launch parameter, okay? And that's pretty much what it is, guys. It is probably the worst RWR that you will see in the higher tier ranks. You know, of course, this is far from the top tier. You know, of course, we have the F-14B, we have the F-15, the F-16C, MiG-29s and everything like that are above this aircraft. But this thing faces from time to time the top dogs of the game, right? And even against these other aircraft, I mean, an MLD, for example, will have a better RWR than yours. The AJS, I have to check, but there are a lot of aircraft over here that have a similar or better RWR than yours. So you have to be careful, okay? At least, I mean, I kind of don't like this idea, but, you know, it's less realistic, but at least it's giving the F-14A a little bit more of a fighting chance with the launch warning. And as you see, there's a mid-frequency target behind me. That's probably an AA system or some form of other older aircraft or something like that. We can check it out, for example. Right here, the only vehicles that are going to appear as a mid or low frequency target are the ones that use the E, the F bands. So for example, the Tunguska over here will appear as a mid one. The Gepard, Roland might not even appear because it has a D band, which is before the E, and the RWR of the F-14 should not be able to track this. The Crowtail, the VPS A05, the Roycat, all these radars, they are going to be appearing as mid or low frequency, normally as mid, okay? Everything else should be as a high one. If it's not the M247, as you see, or the ADATs, or maybe like the Azrad, all of these like ADATs kind of situations, they're basically going to be radars that are going to be high as well, but they will appear as a SAM high, okay? So always remember, and this is the way that you can actually identify which target you are actually being targeted from. Over here, if it appears as a SAM mid or AAA mid over here, it will be probably a AAA, just probably a AAA, you know, like a Gepard, a Tunguska, something like that. You know, or some form of older AA system. The ADATs will appear as a SAM high, for example, if it's in the enemy team. And then everything else, I mean, I don't think there is any aircraft that will appear as a mid one over here. So everything else will be that is flying will appear as a air interceptor high. So that way you can actually identify on your RWR what type of aircraft or what type of vehicle is trying to lock onto you or try to get you without having to expose yourself to that target. So especially in a ground battle, you will be able to identify what it is targeting you. Of course, in the air battles, you probably will mainly be using this one, but still, it is a way of knowing, for example, if you are close to an airfield and the airfield guns are trying to lock onto you, etc., right? And basically, this is how you use it, okay? How to identify and everything else. There are other RWRs that use these type of systems as well. You can use the same kind of level of thinking with those. If you have an aircraft that have that, each aircraft has its own RWR, so it varies a lot, but I think the F-14 one was the main one that I needed to explain because a lot of people fly it, and it's a very high tier aircraft, so it's facing a lot of high tier vehicles with very old armament sometimes and a very old RWR. Basically, this is it. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want me to explain another RWR or overall all the RWRs or anything like that in the comments. See ya. Bye. Subscribe.